So excited to work at DC Comics, and I'm going to a DC movie and listen to that. So I saw this. Go to bigmancomics.com for the best in action adventure entertainment. Hey guys, Gabe Eltaeb here, Big Man Comics. Snyderverse Sucks. Now I remember when I saw the Henry Cavill Superman, and I do think he's one of the best Superman ever. Obviously, I'm biased. My friend Dean Cain is probably the best Superman. Dean would tell you that it's Christopher Reeve. Whatever. The three of them are awesome. Henry Cavill should be Superman. But I remember liking the movie when it came out, but I did work at DC Comics. This is 2013. I'd been with them for like 5 years at that point. You know me, I was loyal and I was a company man. You know, I loved working there, and it wasn't woke yet. It was really fun to work there. And that movie's not good. That movie betrays the character of Superman. And the Snyderverse stuff, it does suck. It does. I defended it for a long time in my head. Visually, the Snyder guys got a great sense. Although too much slow-mo. I don't know about that slow-mo. I gotta say, though, of all those movies that I've ever seen, I only ever liked 300. That was 20 years ago. So, but this all comes up because Ben Affleck said in an interview in Variety that he lost interest in superhero movies, and Batman skewed too old. My son was too scared to watch. Oh shit, we have a problem. So, yeah, this is what I'm always talking about with entertainment. We need to remember, I think the best entertainment is the old Star Wars and Indiana Jones. Not the new stuff, but the stuff that is fully engaging for adults and inspirational and entertaining for children. Everyone can have it, and you, as an adult, you don't feel like, oh, when is this shit going to be over? This is for babies. You don't feel that way watching Star Wars, but a 6-year-old is thrilled watching Star Wars. Stuff's going over their head, but they're thrilled, and a 6-year-old and then a 70-year-old loves Star Wars too. That's where you want to get it. That's how you want to do it. That's the best stuff, especially when it's genre stuff like this, that it is established. Comic books are for children primarily. That's how it started, that it should be for young people. I think the peak age for comic books is boys, like 10 to end of middle school or maybe into high school somewhat. But they love that. They love that action adventure, this, that, and the other. You get into 10th grade, you find out about girls really big time, and maybe you lose a little interest in comics. I remember the day my childhood ended. Me and the buddies in 8th grade would play guns. Now, I lived on a street next to the freeway, but the freeway was 100 feet above our house. It's a steep embankment, right? And, a good neighborhood here in San Diego. And there was a brick fence all along the wall, hundreds of feet long, behind everybody's houses. We lived on this road next to the freeway. And we'd jump over the fence, and it was filled with, like, eucalyptus trees and bushes. There was a rain gutter thing cut in there. And we'd play, like, Rambo, Vietnam, and we'd get plastic guns that didn't fire Nerf or anything, and we walk around, and it was scouts on, like, gotcha, you know what I mean? And we did it for weeks, and like other kids that didn't even live in our neighborhood wanted to come and play, and I was hiding up against the fence, leaning down. I was sitting up against the fence, and it was my friend's cousin's house, basically, and someone goes, hey, and I look up, and peering over the fence was this girl who, we had crushes on each other growing up. She lived like 4 doors down from me, 5 doors down from me, whatever. It was my friend who lived 5 doors down. She lived 3 doors down, I think. And she looks at me and says, oh, what are you doing? And I'm like, playing guns? And the shame I felt in front of a girl that, I may or may not have had a crush on at the time, playing guns with guys. It really, but that whole action adventure thing, you couldn't love it more when you're 12, 13, 14, 15. You're into Van Damme and Rambo and Terminator and all the stuff. That's what we should be aiming for. This is why I hate Deadpool. I'm going to make a video taking down Deadpool. I will prove that Deadpool's a piece of crap movie. I don't care if it made $1 billion. That's filth of the highest order. But that's what Ben Affleck is saying here. He's saying Ben Affleck joined GQ magazine, blah, 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 blah. There are a number of reasons why that was a really excruciating experience, Affleck told GQ. They say don't all have to do with the simple dynamic of, say, being a superhero movie or whatever. I'm not interested in going down that particular genre again, not because it was of that bad experience, but just I've lost interest in what was of interest about it to me. But I certainly wouldn't want to replicate an experience like that. A lot of it was a misalignment of agendas, understandings, expectations, and also, by the way, I wasn't bringing anything particularly wonderful to the equation at the time either. I had my own failings, significant failings in that process and in that time. So I find that fascinating that he wasn't into it. He was going through a rough patch in his life. I don't know. I know the guy's been married and divorced a few times, and I know he's publicly spoken about struggling with alcohol. So that's terrible for him too. So who knows if that was affecting him at the time or not. I have no idea. But I read a lot of the interview earlier this morning over my coffee and my scrambled eggs and bacon that my beautiful wife made for me. And it just really struck me when he said that thing that's in the pull quote at the top of this Variety article. Ben Affleck says, I've lost interest in superhero movies and Batman skewed so old that my son was too scared to watch. So he's making stuff that is for kids. The best Batman that exists is the Paul Dini, Bruce Timm animated series from the early 90s. Batman the Animated Series, right? That's the best Batman. If you haven't seen it, go watch it. I think it's on Amazon Prime. It's probably on HBO Max or whatever that's called. Go watch it. It's such good genre fiction, pulp fiction. It's that episode, that monster of the week they would do on Twilight Zone, that adventure of the week from Star Trek. That it's just so good. It's so well written. The characters are so great. The art is dynamic. And you can watch Batman the Animated Series from there. It's an Emmy-winning show. It used to be on in prime time, you youngsters. You don't understand. Batman the Animated Series, yes, it was like a Saturday morning or after-school kids cartoon, but at one point, it was on in prime time and it won Emmys. Okay? It won Emmy Awards. And it's that good and it's safe for everyone to watch. Everyone can watch it. You can watch it if you're 6 years old. You can watch it if you're 70 years old. And you will be just as entertained. And that is how we should really make art. Being filthy, putting sex into everything, putting defiance and hatred of God and one's country is cringe, Reddit tier atheism. And I have a real problem with it because it's shitty when you do that and you show people filth. You're hurting them. If you're an artist and you're just showing people filth, you're a bad artist. I don't care how skilled you are, you're a bad artist if you want to make filth because it's bad for your fellow man. And you're supposed to care about your fellow man. You're not supposed to want to hurt them. And making filth hurts them. So if we have something like this, because this, in the moment, I didn't think anything of it because I was so excited to work at DC Comics and I'm going to a DC movie and this and that. So I saw this. And I didn't really think anything of it. And then I saw Jamal Igle. He's a veteran illustrator for Marvel and DC and all that. I don't know what he's up to now, but I was semi-friendly with him like 15 years ago. I ran into him at Comic-Con like 3 years in a row. So we were just, friendly with each other 2-3 days a year. But I kind of knew him 10, 15 years ago. And I remember him saying online on Facebook or Twitter, wherever we were friends back then, I doubt he follows me now because he really doesn't like Trump. And I support Trump openly. But anyway, no hard feelings to you, Jamal. I don't have a problem with you. I think you're a good artist. But I remember him saying, that's not Superman. Superman wouldn't kill this. And I'm like, oh, shit, he's right. I'm being a company man. I'm working for DC Comics, in the studio for years. And then I'm freelancing for them. So I didn't say anything or think anything. But yeah, Superman just broke that guy's neck. And in that movie, he doesn't save his dad in the tornado. Kevin Costner's like, nah, dude. And then he lets it, no. None of that makes sense. You let your father die. And, I think all of these things are subconscious communist bullshit. Ends justify the means. Kill the father, get rid of the father, erase the past. Now I'm everything. I think it's really ugly, bad stuff. And, and then you have a guy that made it. Affleck himself saying, yeah, this is ugly, bad stuff. So I would say it like this. If you were at a restaurant, right? And you saw a man standing on the sidewalk in front of the restaurant, and he had a white chef's coat, he had a tall white chef's hat. He was the chef from the restaurant. And he said, do not go in there. They got rats in the kitchen. The food, the temperatures are too high. The food is going to make you sick. Don't go in there. I'm the chef. Don't go in there. I believe him. Or at least I would have questions. Maybe he's disgruntled. He got fired. He's lying. But I would look into it. So when Ben Affleck himself was saying, yeah, that was shit. That was too much for kids. What are we doing here? And he had his own personal problems at the time. Yeah, I think that's enough confirmation for me. This stuff needs to be more like Batman the Animated Series and less like Deadpool. And less like, this, when you really think about it, this is just absurd. It's absurd. Superman breaking a guy's neck? It's crazy. He's the big blue Boy Scout. And he's a Christian and he's a conservative. For all you out there that think he isn't. Raised in Kansas. What do you think that's about? What do you think Kansas farmers are doing? Huh? Come on, please. Anyway, guys, go to bigmancomics.com. Get Dean Cain All-American Lawman Volume 1, the first printing. I still have a few in stock. I'll pack them and ship them as soon as you order them. And we got Empyrean should be done. That sci-fi book, I should be crowdfunding that any minute now. We'll get it out to you. And Tyrus, I just finished page 69 of ink, 69 out of 120. And I was talking to Akeon about Dean Cain All-American Lawman 2. And I think after Dean Cain, so I think here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to finish inking Tyrus. So I'm illustrating that with Akeon doing pencil layouts. And then I think I'm going to do Tripoli. Tripoli is a military thriller. It's very personal to me. You're going to freaking love it. If you love Black Hawk Down, if you love 310 to Yuma, if you love things like that, you're going to love Tripoli. I think I'm going to do that one all by myself and set Akeon loose on Dean Cain All-American Lawman Volume 2. And we'll just keep moving Big Man Comics forward. I am kind of looking for someone who could do a really good cartoony style to do the Jericho Green comic, because I don't know that I'll be able to fit that in my schedule, and I want to get that done before the end of the year. It's kind of like Stranger Things and Goonies and all that. It's a kid's book, but that one's just kind of delayed because I want to find someone who could draw in that way. Anyway, follow me on X on Big Man Comics. YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram. I'm Gabe Eltaeb. You see how to spell it right there. And make sure you hit the like and subscribe. Guys, you grow this channel by liking and subscribing. It's all about you guys. You guys are making this happen. You're part of the team. You're part of the crew, and I love it. I will talk to you guys later. Thank you for watching. Make sure to follow us on social media and go to bigmancomics.com.